sit down inside of your mentality, if you start to sit down inside of your ability, if you start to focus to that place where you start utilizing what you have inside, then it becomes worth it. And you are worth it. Your abilities are worth it. Your mentality is worth it. You know, a lot of people, they hear this message, and it might come at the right time. You might be hearing this message right now. You might be sitting down asking yourself, how do it? How can it become possible? How can we sit down and believe in ourselves? And I'm telling you, those skills that you learn in school, those things that, how did you learn those study skills? How did you sit down? How did you write? How did you read? I remember the day that I sat down and started to read. I remember the day that I picked up Steve Reed's book. I remember the ability to sit there and to read through the whole night. I remember going from a 4th grade reading level to a 12th grade comprehension overnight. They didn't understand it. They did a test. The next day they retested me. Okay? I went from a 4th grade reading level to a 12th grade reading level. All right? Overnight. Okay? You can do it too. You can believe in yourself at that level. You can believe in yourself that you can learn from you, that you can be a starter, that you could be a person that other people seek to be like, to want to achieve, that what you can do inside of you can become that focused, but you cannot let what they say to you stop you. If you allow yourself inside of you to build you, if you allow yourself inside of you to uplift you, if you allow yourself inside of you to become that kind of light, then who has the ability to stop you from shining? Nobody. You hearing what I'm saying? And so I sat there all night long and I read that book. And I sat there. And I sat there and I said to myself, if I'm going to figure out how to lift weights, I'm going to sit down and read this book until the sun came up. And I remember 270 pages overnight. From a 4th grade reading level to a 12th grade reading level. What does it take for you to get there inside of your professions? What does it take for you to sit down and use those kind of skills? What does it take for you to believe that you're worth it, that you can do the things that other people call impossible? And I sat there and I recognized it, just like I did when I sat down and remembered that the best friend inside is like reading a book. You know, one thing about reading a book that I really enjoy is that you become your best friend with the story inside of the book. Okay? When you sit down and you read a book, when you sit down and you start to read a book, you become best friends with yourself inside of the book. Can we take that for ourselves? Can we start to want to become our best friends? Can we start to want to uplift ourselves? We start to want to other people's talents, our abilities inside of who we are? Can we want to be uplifted to that level? And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about becoming best friends with yourself with that kind of strength. And a lot of people who see me or see my mentality, see my ability within, they know something's different. The thing that they know is different is that once I decide to focus, there ain't no stopping it. Okay? 2 years ago, I started talking about this. All right? Before I started talking about this, I wrote about it for 6 years. Okay? And literally 6 years ago, I did a video. Okay? I did a video and then I stopped. And I started writing. I sat down, I studied. I used the same skills that I'm talking about today. And I've been grinding on this thing. Over 100,000 people I've talked to in 7 years. And sitting down here and I'm communicating with people across the globe, communicating with you wherever you are, if you're hearing this message, if you're in this mentality, if you're in this place within yourself, if you want to believe in you, listen to this message, listen to this ability, that you can do that. I see changes happen and I see amazing things happening, and I see the people and the places that I want to go and the things that I want to do. Eventually, the people that want to be around me are going to eventually be with me. They're going to be in a place of vibration where it vibrates outwards, where they see inside of themselves that it's worth it, that their abilities within who they are has a place, and it comes from within our own vibration. It comes from within our own mentalities. It comes from our down and to continue to grind and to continue to be who you are. And that's why I tell people that if you start to focus on positivity and you start allowing the negativity to leave your life, if you start putting yourself in a place where your mentality takes over, you hearing what I'm saying? Are you doing that? Are you letting yourself be controlled by the things around you, or are you stronger than them within who you are? And so when people feel that, when they start to see that, when they start to vibrate that, that's when you get to become a gift in the universe. That's when your gifts start to be sought after. That's when your abilities start to be sought after. That's when your mentality starts to be sought after. And I just started focusing. I started asking myself, Marcel, what is it that you know how to do? What is it that you can do? How is it that you can become that best friend within yourself? How is it that you could start to love yourself first? How is it that you could put yourself in a place where you could dominate within your mentality? And I sat there inside of a sauna and I said, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Either I'm long enough to stay in here until I choose to leave this sauna, or I'm going to die. You hearing what I'm saying? I wanted to be the best in the world at meditation. I wanted to be able to be at a point where other people sought me after. I wanted to be at a point where other people looked inside of that sauna and they said, man, that's the guy. That's the guy who meditates. That's the guy who knows how to focus to the point where he gets down with himself inside, where other people come to seek out how to do it from him. Other people start to seek out how to do it. And you know what? There might be this program or that program, but when you are the best in the world, when you are on top of your game, it ain't about somebody else. It's about your journey. It's about your path. It's about your level of focus inside of yourself. And this can apply to any part of your being. This can apply to your companionships. This can apply to your